Hey guys, so before we start this video, I noticed that half of you are not subscribed to me, so it would mean a lot if you subscribed and ding the little bell so we could hang out all the time. So for Spooky Story Sunday today, we have a ghost story, haunted house story, that was submitted by one of our friends on the Discord. So if you want to join us on Discord, the link is down below. But this is a local legend in Pennsylvania of a haunted house that has the nickname of the most haunted house in America, like many others, as well as the house that the devil built. It's got a little bit more flex than the most haunted house in America. So this one starts with a couple who moved into the house at 1129 Ridge Avenue in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. It had a horrid past, apparently, the house. As soon as it was built, Charles White Congelier moved into the house, and at the time he was with his wife and his maid. Allegedly, apparently, Mr. Congelier was having an affair with this maid, his wife, and then found out and stabbed her husband multiple times and chopped the head off of the maid because I guess she was upset about the affair. So in that time, this was a pretty gruesome crime. This happened in 1871, so you can imagine, the court hearing on that one. After the murders, the house sat empty for quite a while. Quite a long while, actually. A group of contractors actually moved into the house. They were going to refurbish it, make it like new. But as they were working, they realized that they were hearing unexplained things. Screams coming from the walls. Just various things being moved around. Their tools were being lost. Stuff like that. It didn't take them long to move out of this house because they were just so scared and they didn't want to deal with that anymore. So after that, the home was empty again. In 1901, a doctor purchased the house. Neighbors said that they never saw him come in and out of the house, that he was always inside. He was a really big recluse. And one night, all of that completely changed. The neighbors reported that they heard screams of women, various women, of people, just a bunch of screams. So they ran over to the house to see what was going on, and apparently it was pretty gruesome. The neighbor said that the house was actually rumbling, that it was just rumbling all over the place. There was flashes of red light coming out of the windows. The sidewalks were shaking. It was just a whole thing that was happening with this house. So at one point, the windows of the house just completely blasted out. All of the windows exploded in the house. So they ran over to see what was going on specifically in there. And apparently they found a woman in a decomposed state strapped to a bed. And they also found 5 additional bodies in the basement beheaded. After that, of course, as you can imagine, everybody moved out of the house and it sat empty again. And I'm sure nobody wanted to buy it at this point. Well, we were wrong, because Equitable Gas Company set up shop in the home next. They hired all immigrant workers and got rid of all of their American workers. At first, there was some strange occurrences in the home. They were written off as pranks just because, when you're working in an office, you gotta have fun sometimes. Or just disgruntled employees doing things based off of the history of the house. Well, after a while, it was determined that the things that they were experiencing, no human being could have done. The workers themselves reported seeing apparitions at night, apparitions during the day, shadow figures, things touching them, whispering in their ear. They also reported smells that they were experiencing, random smells, sometimes smells of death. Many of the witnesses that reported things there at the house said that the house seemed to come to life. Eventually, things got worse, and one man was actually stabbed through the heart with a wooden stake. Later, police found 2 more dead bodies in the basement. Where they came from, we don't know. Down through history, of course, the word of the house got out. People were curious about it, wanted to see what was going on. It was such a hot topic in the 1920s that even Thomas Edison was trying to create a machine to communicate with the dead, which resulted in somebody being demonically possessed. Witnesses reported violent entities being tortured within a few minutes of walking through the door, just all kinds of things, hair pulled, scratches. After all of this, the house was destroyed in an explosion from a local gas company in 1927. However, there is a new building that sits there now. It is the Carnegie Service Center, and it is said to still experience residual energy from the land. So there you have it, the house that the devil built. Do you think that the house caused all of the issues that happened in this house? Let me know in the comments below what you think. So for Spooky Story Sunday,